Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Miss Munoz for Math today. Today we are on Lesson 5 of Unit 9, which should be on page 25 in your student journal. Quick reminder, green, go with me. Write every single thing down that I write, even if you have to pause the video because I'm going too fast. Red, stop and just watch me. Okay, again, we're on page 25 of your student journal. Okay, so this is what we started yesterday, and we're going to be continuing it until we get a lot of practice at it. So our goal is today I will continue practicing two formulas to find volume. Okay, so we don't expect you to be experts at all by now. We just are going to keep getting better and better every day. Okay, so a few reminders is what is volume? So volume is the amount of space inside a 3D object. Okay, it's the space inside a 3D object. And for our class, we're only going to be using rectangular prisms. So our shapes are always going to be rectangular prisms, which are perfect shaped boxes. Okay, and remember what we're filling those with are those unit cubes. Those little tiny cubes is what we're measuring how many can fit in them. Okay, so yesterday we said we're not going to be using their steps. Instead, we're going to keep practicing our two formulas. So remember, our first formula is volume equals length times width times height. And then our second formula is volume equals base times height. Okay, something else that we want to remember that's so important is our answer is always cubed. Okay, we can say a star by it because it's so important. Answer is always cubed. Okay, that's very, very important to remember. Okay, so today we're just going to continue practicing this. Okay, I'm going to put my green pen down and grab my red pen. And I'm going to start. So if you just want to watch me try one. Okay, it wants us to find the volume, and I'm going to keep practicing both my formulas. So my first formula is volume equals length times width times height. Okay, so I have a 4, a 6, and a 2. Now if you remember yesterday I said which way is your body going to look when you get your height measured? You're not going to lay, you're not going to be sideways or diagonal, you're going to be straight up and down. So I know that 2 is my height. Okay, now these, sometimes people get them mixed up. It really won't matter because in a multiplication you could mix the numbers. Usually we say our length is our long one. That's usually what they say. So I might say my length is 6 and my width is 4. Oops, I had two multiplication signs there, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's solve this. I get 6 times 4 is 24 times 2. And 24 times 2, if you can't do it, you could find some space and do some side work. I'm getting 4 times 2 is 48. My measurement is units. And my answer is always cubed. Okay. Let's try another one with our other formula. Volume equals base times height. So base is the bottom, which is kind of hard to color just the bottom in. But that bottom rectangle, if I was going to find the area of this bottom or this base, what numbers are attached to it? It's the 4 and the 6. So 4 times 6 is the area of the base. And then I'm going to measure or multiply it times my height, which is 2. So my base was 4 and my height is 2, and I still end up with 48. Maybe this time I can write it differently. 48 cubic units, which means the same thing. Okay, This one, they tried to get a little tricky on us. They said find the volume of the cube. Okay, cube is like a square, but it's a three-dimensional square whose length is 4 units. Well, if the length is 4 units and it's a cube, isn't everything 4 units? Okay, so we're going to start with our one formula. Volume is length times width times height. Since it's a cube, I can just put them all in. 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, again, if I don't know that, I'm just going to find some area where I can do some side work because I'm not sure about that. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 64. Okay, so it must be 64, and we could say maybe units cubed. We could write it. I want you to know that it could be written different ways as long as you have a measurement and cubed somewhere. Okay, let's try our other formula. Volume equals base times height. So the base, what's the area of the base there? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, so that's the area of the base or the bottom, and my height is 4. And I've already figured out that it's 64, and I could say 64 units cubed. Okay, let's try some together now. So go back to your book. I believe it's on page 26. And it tells us we're going to find the volume of this rectangular prism. Okay, so remember we're going to try both of our formulas. Length times width times height. Okay, so I have a 1 here, and 10 here. Okay, which one's my height? Is my body this way, or this way? Hopefully you know my height is going to be 10. And my length and the width are both the same. Okay, so I have 1 times 10. And when I solve one step at a time, which we learned when we did order of operations, I'm getting 10. So 10 units cubed. Okay, let's try our other formula, which is volume equals base times height. Remember, base is the area of the bottom. So the area of this bottom is 1 times 1, which is 1, and my height is 10. So I'm still getting 10. Maybe this time I'll write 10 units with an exponent 3. Okay, let's try one more together. It says find the volume. This time it doesn't tell me it's a cube, but if it doesn't tell me it's a cube, I'm just going to have to assume it is when they don't give me any other measurements. Okay, so we have volume equals length times width times height. And if it's a cube, I can just put all the numbers in. So I get 36 times 6. I definitely cannot do that in my head, so let's find some scratch base. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. Okay, 216. So 216 cubic units. Okay, and our other formula is volume equals base times height. So the base is the area of the bottom, which would be length times width, which is 36, and my height is 6. And I've already solved it, so I don't have to rework it out. So we could say 216 units cubed. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you're feeling a little bit better than yesterday. So the goal is just every day you feel a little bit more confident with this. Okay, so I want you today, you're going to turn the page and you're going to work on this page, which is page 27, page 28, and page 29. I really would like you to practice both formulas. Okay, have a great afternoon and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.